Yo, what up? It's KMK. I want to start doing some VOD reviews for people for Hourglass. So if you're interested, hit me up. I got a Discord link down in the description. It's nothing too crazy, just kind of set up. You can send in your videos, tell me a bit about it, what level you are, all that. But yeah, I've noticed only Sponge has done VOD reviews for Sea of Thieves Hourglass, and I come from Overwatch. I played thousands of hours of that. I've done a ton of VOD reviews. I also have an art background, so critiquing art is a big part of what I know, what I'm good at. I like teaching as well. So all these things kind of coming together for wanting to do some of these to help people get better. So you can be any level, beginner. The one we're looking at, they're level 700, 800-ish here. I mostly play solo, so that's what I have most experience in. If you want to send that in, that'd be great. I have some experience duo and some experience on Brig. Not a lot on Galley, so I probably can't help a whole lot there, but you never know. Especially if you're newer, feel free to send it in. I mainly helm when I do a sloop and Brig, but I can help with just general tips and tricks. So yeah, links in the description if you want to join. Otherwise, enjoy. All right, we're going to be watching Trippy. He's level 700, 800-ish combined between the two factions. Solo Hourglass. Things to note, he is from EU. I think he's playing on NA here, so his ping is pretty high. We'll have to see if that has any issues with TDM. I know cannon loading can be an issue if you're on high ping, so I'm sure he'll run into that as well. Yeah, let's just get into it and see if there's anything I can notice. Full turn right away, raise to half. He opts to go for sideways sails, which is fine. We'll have different preferences, so just going with that. Sideways sails, if you want, it can help get better spirals. Because it doesn't catch the wind as strongly as it would if it was forward sails, but you're a little bit more susceptible to getting hit with chain because the crossbeam is sort of wider in their POV, whereas if they have it just straight across, you're basically just aiming for a pole. It's not like a T shape, it's more of an L shape, but just personal preference, either way is fine. A little high, let's see if he adjusts. Good. Okay, so a couple things. Everybody has their own aiming preferences. This is what he has learned, and I'm sure it works fine for him. Where you're, there's kind of two different ways to aim with cannons. If you're, you shoot and you look down just to get a better view of if you're hitting, if it's high or low. That's what he's doing. I personally, when I'm first starting out a fight at this sort of medium range, I'll just keep my cannons where they're at because you can still see fairly well if they're going short, if they're going long, if you're hitting. But it's for the longer ones when you have to aim higher. The cannon covers more of their ship. That's when you want to be doing this for sure. So you can adjust the cannon lower to see. But yeah, what I do personally, I keep it in one spot, shoot, and then adjust higher or lower from there. I'm not bringing it down every single time. Also, I don't know if it's a ping issue, but it seems like there's a bit of a delay between some of your shots. So I would just keep spamming fires. Because if you think about it, if you fire 10 shots, you hit 8 of them, but you took longer time than firing 10 and hitting 6 in like 3/4 of the time, I'd say the faster fire rate is going to have more shots overall. And then just adjusting as you go. Instead of really focusing on adjusting. Also, they're already getting pretty far left, so yep, good. I just noticed that crank left. Okay, let me go back to that. So you can see they're moving from right to left across the screen, he's having to go pretty far. Let me turn this down just a bit so you don't hear the cannonballs and all that. Anyway, they're going right to left across the screen, so he has to tighten up his turn. He tightens all the way, I'm pretty sure. Pretty close, if not all the way. When you're making adjustments like this, I usually do 1 or 2 pegs at a time instead of a full crank. A full crank is almost always going to be over-rotating, overturning. So it's going to get you back into cannon line faster, but you're just going to have to go back and adjust it. So I probably would have done about 2. That way, you know, it might not have been enough, but then it's going to be not overturning quite as fast, or yeah, it's going to be closer to being even, I'd say. And you can make those smaller adjustments instead of going fully to the left, and now you have to figure out, okay, is it going to be 3/4, or do I need to go back to half turn? Another thing too, he has a pineapple, and he doesn't really want to eat it because he just lost a sliver of health. This is why meat is so important. If I'm playing solo, I always have a half bar at the very least going into a fight. And then my usual loadout that I bring into a fight would be 4 pines and 1 piece of meat. So stocking up your ship's important. If you don't have that, that's, you know, you don't have to do that. Just that bit of overheal makes it so you don't have to cycle through your foods, try and find the least one. I think his lowest is probably a pomegranate, so he has to cycle 2 times to get to a pomegranate, then eat it just to cover that like 5% of health, because he canceled eating his pineapple twice. Oh, he does actually eat a pineapple just for that. Yeah, so that's a pretty big waste of food then. And meat's not even that expensive. You just have to spend time cooking it, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so they chained. It sounds like they hit their anchor. That's not too big of a deal. Did I see that right? Hang on. We go back into when he's selecting from the crate. Yeah, there we go. You can see he's selecting one at a time everything he needs. He can just press R for take to spam that. That would get him the cannonballs that he needs. He needs 5 of them. That would fill him back up on chains. And that would give him a mango because he ate his half pineapple earlier. Also, I don't know why you have fireworks in your inventory. But yeah, I would just spam that. It takes the same amount of time as moving your mouse over and selecting what you need. Okay, they hit your mast. Gotta be aware of that. Your water's fine right now too. Oh, you hit their mast once, the chain, that's nice. Is it fully going down? Or do they just raise? Yeah, they caught it. Okay, so you must have hit 1 shot earlier. Good. He's trying to aim for where they were raising, it looked like. Alright, let's go back. He might have been aiming there a bit too long. Or maybe he's aiming for Mast there. Yeah, he's probably aiming for Mast. So yeah, again, he just went in and grabbed 1 chain, but now he's not full on cannonballs. We can talk about this a little bit. So once he masted them, it looks like they didn't change their turn at all. They were only working on their mast. They didn't straighten. Usually when you get masted, you want to catch mast, straighten wheel, fix mast, and then go drop. But it looks like they were still turning. So if that happens, they're going to cut behind him more. So in that case, it probably would have been better to, once you got that demast, raise your sails. It makes hitting their mast down again better or easier anyway, because you're going slower. Easier to line up that shot. You don't have to lead as much. So yeah, I probably would have slowed down at that point. Because now they're going to be pointed back behind him. And he needs to turn super quick. He's going to have to full raise, full turn if he wants to keep up with them. So right here, you should realize, yeah, he's wasting time. He shouldn't be back on cannon. He should be cranking left because they're speeding behind him. They were flying before. You could see it. I mean, unless he's really trying to hit that chain, which is fine. But he should full raise, full turn. And again, this is going to be overturning, but at this point, you kind of need to just to get back in line. Because now they have some easy chains to line up, and you can't fire back. Could be sniping here, could be bucketing, could be repairing instead of waiting. Looks like he. Let's see. Yeah, he lined up pretty well. Yeah, they're still kind of cruising behind him. He's full cranked left. But since they're this close, that's actually okay. At medium range, a full crank is always going to be overturning. At this range, it's not bad. He lowered his sail, so he's moving, which slows the turn a bit. Makes it a bit wider anyway. So looks like they're not moving too far. They're still outpacing him a little bit. You'd have to raise sail slightly. It's not terrible. Mast is going down. Didn't catch it. So, a couple options here. I probably would have tried to catch it right away. It takes 1 second to catch it if it's just falling. It takes 10 seconds to raise it if it's all the way down, or however long it is. But if you're at this point already, then a couple options you can do. You can try to match their rotation with your cannons, or I call it showing ass. I've heard that from somebody. I don't remember who it was. But you show the back of your boat to them and keep that in rotation with them and work on snipes as you repair your front holes. In this case, I try and keep cannon with them. And I think that's what you're doing. Yeah, he's still trying to keep angle. But now he's going for mass. So yeah, now it's going to take a lot longer since you let it fully drop. This can be okay if you go for a reset. You're not really in a position where you can get back into the fight. So if he wants, he can plank once, drop full, and go repair. Which is what I'm assuming he's going to do. But yeah, if you're able to catch it earlier, then you can stay in the fight longer instead of having to force a reset. But if you're in that position already, he's doing the right thing here. I'd probably plank it again. Okay, good, nice. Just to make sure they don't accidentally knock it. You can maybe hit a couple cannons here. They turn out. Yeah, they're turning out, so. You hit that, it's not a big deal, then they're just going to repair it. But you should get the reset here. They didn't capitalize on it. I'm assuming just repairing for a bit. Nothing too crazy. Skip ahead. Ooh, why do you have 2 cannonball barrels? Hang on. So in the top one, cannonballs, chains, blunders, scatters. In the bottom, cannonballs, chains, blunders, scatters, and firebombs. You should really combine it into one. If you want to organize it like firebombs and blunders on the bottom, or and scatter shots or whatever, that's fine. But if you're gonna have cannonballs, just have them all in one. Like have all your chains in one spot, so you know where to go. So you don't run out and be like, "Oh, is it in the top barrel or is it in the bottom barrel or whatever?" Yeah. Okay, still resetting. He must have just gotten fully repped. Now he's turning back, trying to get a left side. This is fine. But they might go parallel here. Let's see what they're doing. Are they still rotating? Yeah, they're still rotating. So you can chase them, or you can just sit full raised and wait for them to come to you. You can If you do that, you can cannon over. Go 2x for now, see what's going on. So he's assigned to chase. Just fine. They're going to turn back now, looks like. Now you can get orbital going. I don't really like this position all that much. Oops. Just because they're going to have cannons on you first. Ideally, you'd be turned to the right just a bit more, so your cannons are aiming straight at them. You can't do that because of the island. So that's why sitting and waiting and just rotating, keeping your cannons pointing at them, sometimes a better choice. But it looks like they didn't really take advantage of it. Because, let's see if we can see a bit better. Yeah, when they're in this position, you're basically nosing them. But they're not really taking advantage of it. So they could have raised and just turned cannons towards you, and you're kind of forced to turn into them. So, mistake on their end. Oh, what's going on here? You trying to board you? Interesting. So they start with a board. If you just need to hit one cannon shot, then watch. That's good. You hit something. Sounded like. I think it might have been on Mast though. Ooh. Okay. So he waited for you to fire your blunder, so he could board. Okay, you hear him grab right there. You should be looking completely over just to see where he's at. You sort of look, but now you don't know. You check both ladders, but you don't know which one he's at, even though he is on one of the ladders. So jump up on the ledge. I know you're in high ping, so it's kind of risky. You might jump off. Like what happened? I'm assuming it was a ping issue. But then you at least know, okay, I can snipe one of the skellies and I can be ready with my blunder. Or you can blunder bomb him off. Because you're moving. If you get him off ladder, then you can take care of the skellies. His ship is nosing you, so that's another reason I like running throwing knives too. You can take care of skelly bombs super easily. Okay, so he does get it. Oh, you get sword lunged? Is that what that was? Hang on. This guy right here, he's lunging at you. Yeah. Oh my god, that's unfortunate. He had a nice shot. But skeleton hits you off. They get the ank. I'm not huge into TDM, so I can't go over too much about strategies for this. Most of the time in solos, I win by defending boards, tanking whenever they have an advantage, recovering, winning attrition with supplies, and then taking advantage when I do have an advantage. I'm not huge into TDM. And it's tough when they have skellies up too. But and you're on high ping. I think it's like 180 or something. Yeah, this is tough. Okay, isolated the skeletons. That's not a bad idea. Now you can actually fight him. And he is whiffing his one shot. So you're kind of stuck in a washing machine here. So gets spun around. Again, high ping. I can't really blame you for it. Hit him with a rattle, probably because of the skellies. Okay, firebombing map table. I'm assuming. Oh no. Okay, this guy doesn't know what he's doing at all. When it comes to firebombs, anyway. Oh, you're letting him reload his blunder. I would have pushed him there when he didn't have blunder. No snipe. Ooh, you grab bananas. Again, this is why you need to have your barrels organized. So he does go for the spam grab here, I think. But bananas are first. Bananas and coconuts, yeah. I also keep my good fruit in the bottom barrel. 1, people check it second most of the time. 2, I'm just lazy, and that's where they put it for captaincy. But try to rearrange it so your good food is going to be the first to grab, so you can spam grabbing. You're not stuck with bananas. Because yeah, you eat 3 of them, you're still on fire, and then a pineapple. Like, so those bananas literally just a time waster because you ate a pineapple anyway. So I'm just trying to blender you through the grate. We could talk about this fire for a second. So if you're on the other end of this, you're firebombing, you want to put first, if they're dry, a firebomb at the very front bottom of their ship, and then do your map table. Most people just throw a map table. But if you throw the front first and then map table, then you're going to get a bottom hole and then the back holes. And it's going to fill pretty much twice as fast because the bottom hole does a lot more than your back holes. If you do the map table first and then the bottom, the back holes are going to break first. And it's going to put just a thin amount of water. It's going to put your fire out. You're not going to get a bottom hole. So I don't know why you threw it on the front here. And another thing I like to do is I stand on a canopy and I throw one at the top of the stairs coming up towards the wheel, since that's the way most people go. You can parkour up the sides, but most people will just run straight into that. So if they're trying to push you, they're going to have to go through fire. So that's how I do a fire spawn camp anyway. So guard ladders. Should have been ready for that. You knew he was in the water. Out of ammo. Plunder bombs. Yeah, that's another thing too. I'm super scummy when I play solos. I won't use curses unless somebody does first. Or bone collars unless somebody does first. But I mean, if they have bone collars on their ship, I treat that as fair game. But yeah, I use throwing knives, which are scummy, and I use blunder bombs all the time. Like, it's just free damage. You can just spam that at them. Yeah, don't be afraid to use those. Okay, so get the fire out, get your anchor up. Not good. So you could, if you're dumping water on yourself, you can put out fire at the same time. So if you're gonna do that, just go stand by the mast and dump it backwards onto you, as well as the mast. But yeah, fire in the mast is kind of buggy. Oh, he took your crate off. That's a good catch. I did not notice that. I guess you were probably looking for it and realized. I would get moving and then worry about fire too. He should have parked right in front of you there. He just wrapped around again for no reason while you're anchored. So you're giving him chances, but he's not taking advantage of it. Okay, you see him in there. So he's just going for boards. He doesn't want a naval, apparently. You can go for snipe, so it's, yeah, still down there. You can snipe and then have your blunder for ladder still. Go for chains. These are easy chains. They're pointing right at you. Yeah, the easiest chains are when they're coming straight in towards you. Don't really have to adjust for their movement at all. It's basically like they're sitting still. Okay, you can rep holes. You could even go over because they're pretty far out once you're fully repped if you wanted to. But I personally would probably just rep and then cannon. I think you still. Did you have a back hole or no? It doesn't sound like it. But yes, yeah, his naval's been pretty terrible. So maybe just keep push on that because he's just nosing again. Now you're going for chains. This is good. This is what I was talking about. When they come straight at you like this is the best time to chain. Aiming a little high. That one looks good. Nope. There you go. Oh, shooting a firework at him. Okay. Okay, setting back up for the orbital. So, again, you're getting concerned that he's getting behind you. You full raise, full left, which is eventually going to overturn. That's what you realize, which is why you lower the sails. So we'll see if this is lined up well. I think it might be overturned. Yeah. So you can see if when he's on cannon. Oh, not really, because they're also overturning. They're like nosing you. So I guess it's fine. If they were keeping a solid distance, they would have been going faster. But in this case, it wasn't a big deal. Got their mast. It's big. So now it depends on if they're rotating or if they are sitting still. Oh, you're masted. Grab that. But yeah, if you get them masted, if they're rotating, you kind of want to do the opposite of what they're doing, right? So if they're rotating, trying to keep their cannon with you, you can full raise, and then they're going to over rotate, and you can open them on both sides. If they're not moving, then you want to rotate and death spiral. But you get mastered, get them back up, straighten wheel after this. Perfect. Yeah, and then just shoot. You have angle. You can worry about that later. I mean, there's a good chance they're going to hit it again. So it's good to have it up just to make it faster to regrab. But getting pressure here is good. And then maybe in a bit, get a plank on it and then start spiraling again. Okay, so he's feeling... Oh, that's scummy. Cursing you. So yeah, you're feeling the pressure there. You're starting to lose angle a bit because your boat was drifting. So now you're going for mast to try and get the spiral going. He was a jig ball. That's unfortunate. Yeah, so now you have to get a bucket. This is good. Good grab. They hit it again. Oh, that's lucky. So I didn't mention this all in your TDMs either. But here you're jumping when you don't need to. We go back to your TDM. I believe that was something I noticed as well. I just forgot to say it. You're doing a lot of jumping. It might make you slightly harder to hit, but if you're going against somebody with a blunderbuss, they're more likely to knock you off. In next season, it won't matter as much because right now, the blunderbuss the knockback is pretty much straight back. There's a little bit of vertical. Next season, they're going to add more vertical and more knockback, so you're just going to go fucking flying. But, yeah, for right now, jumping isn't good because if you're up in the air higher, they hit you, your knockback's going to go even higher in the air, more likely to get knocked off. Same with here. Okay, so you're right here, going down the stairs, just run down, don't jump. It just makes the knockback worse. That's what hit you off. If you were just running down the stairs, you wouldn't be in the water right now. So, minor thing. I know it's a bad habit. I do it in other games all the time. You know, if I have nothing to do, if I'm running around, I'm probably jumping at the same time. So, all right, let's see what we get out of this. So you're turning for angle. Good. This is good. You don't have to full crank it. Just do like a half turn, do something else while it's rotating, then you can turn it back. This is fine. Just wait it out. You don't need to sit. Yeah, I think you need to go a little bit further. Oh, it's good. Okay. So you can go for snipes to get them off cannon, which looks like what you're trying to do, or count their cannonballs. It looks like they're going down for a bucket anyway. So aim for cannon to get them off of it. They're trying to get back on. Oh, big one ball. That honestly should cost them the game. If not, dirty bucket. If not, at the very least, it will give you time to rep and get an advantage. Good. Yeah, you have back holes, but you leave those. That's fine. They're not going to fill it very quickly. You need to get some pressure on them while they're dead. Okay, you see that they're alive now. You got a hit marker. You need to start spreading. That spot right there. You're hitting like right in front of the ladder. That is where the bed is, and you can't get a hole there. So I would either aim more to the back, or more to the front. Probably more to the front, get lower holes, and then spread to the back as you go. Unless it looks like maybe we're just trying to one-wall him. Again, just spam your R. Because now you'd be full on food, you'd be full on chains. So at this point, you're probably not getting many more holes in them. I would work on getting your last couple holes done, and then you can go over. Or get moving. Either one. Because realistically, their left side's going to be fully opened up. Maybe they have one or two of them patched, but you've hit like you shot like 20 times now in a row. Right now it's fine because you're getting them off cannons, it looks like. Yeah, so just keep aiming for cannon. But yeah, you want to be working on your reps at the same time. So you can go over. Because in solos, you pretty much have to be full repped if you want to go over. If you have like a 2-2 back or something, that's fine. You can reload well, filling a cannonball as well. If you've learned that strategy, you can hold a cannonball out, start the load, switch weapons, and then start your reload. You can do kind of both at the same time. AFK. Not sure what that was about. Yeah, you can see when he does get on cannons, he's only hitting you in the same spot, like right below the cannon. You can take care of these back holes now, and then you won't have to worry about them at all, because he's only aiming for that same spot. He's going for snipes. Another thing with that too, you can reball or reload the cannon while AD strafing if you hold it out. So if he's going for snipes, you'd want to do that. But he just lets you win there. Okay. Maybe he ran out of wood or something. But most of the time, if you're going to sink somebody, if they're good and they know how to turtle well, you're going to need more pressure than just one side. So you're eventually either going to have to go over or get repped and rotate around them, get them to spin, which you can do by boarding and then spinning their wheel, or get a one ball, get a snipe, then a cannonball, something like that. So you were definitely in a winning position there. You were putting a lot more pressure on them than they were on you, thanks to that one ball from earlier. So I think you would have won this either way. If somebody that was a little bit better at repairing was in the same situation. Yeah, I think your end game, get this, it's just 1, 2, 3, get that fixed, and then find a moment where you can fire a 10 volley of cannons, then repair the one below your cannon if you're able to. And if you can get that one repaired, fire 10 more and then go. Because if you fire those first 10, he's going to be probably bucketing, probably repairing. So he's not going to fire back. you get that last one repaired. Again, leave that one for last because it's the most likely one to get opened up. And then fire 10 more, because at the time you spent repairing that one, he's repaired another hole as well. So you need to fire 10 more just to keep the spread going, and then you can go over, so you have more pressure on him. Overall good. Your helming was good. Just some kind of nitpicky things here and there about overturning a little bit. So again, just adjust it like a peg or two at a time, especially for the first orbital, when you can see, okay, they're moving right to left a little bit. So I need to tighten up, or maybe you didn't turn it enough. Maybe you only turned like a quarter turn off the start, and they're kind of flying by you then, or not turning enough. Wait. Yeah, that was the same. That's the same situation. Maybe you turn too much and you're overturning. That's what I'm thinking. And then moving left or right, then you would open up a peg or two instead of full cranking or going full straight. But TDM, don't jump as much. Throwing knives are OP, especially for dealing with skeletons. But double gunning is still fine. It's going to be fine next season too. So you can keep running Plunder Snipe if you want. Yeah, overall good fight. Not really much else. I gotta say, good awareness. You knew that he dumped your crate in the water, because that could have been big. You sailed off without it. Overall, all these things I've been saying are pretty nitpicky things, like organizing your crates, right? These are things that are going to help you be a little bit more efficient, but it's not going to cost you the fight necessarily, right? It's going to save you, a second here and there. Yeah, if anybody else wants to send me one, hit me up. And again, this is a pretty high level fight. If you're newer, that's perfectly fine. I could get some more overarching generic tips, bigger picture things that Don or Trippy here has already kind of figured out. So that's about it.